Essays. Essay is usually a part of the literature syllabus, but it is also good practice for our students to learn how to read an essay and how to analyze the different features of an essay. With that skill, they can further develop a skill of essay writing. Now, what is an essay? It is actually a collection of sentences, words, and different paragraphs. An essay has to be divided into different paragraphs in order to make the meaning of a certain topic clear to the readers. Therefore, the teachers need to train the students to write the sentences and further to divide the sentences into different paragraphs. The beginning of each paragraph must have a purpose to explain in the essay. There has to be a planning in the mind of the writer of an essay, or the reader of an essay can also analyze that with the beginning of each paragraph there is going to be a different message which is going to be linked to the previous paragraph. Linking of the paragraphs in the essay is also a significant point to be analyzed, and the students should be trained to look at those significant parts and understand how a purpose is built up and how, with the writing or reading of an essay, the writer or the reader conveys or accepts a message given by the author. The sentence formation, though, has all the parts of speech in it when a sentence is formed, but usually it has been noticed that students use same kinds of adjectives throughout the essay. It is very important for the students to use different kinds of adjectives. Of course, the nouns, they have a variation of nouns in the essay, because if they are talking about different things, then they are going to name them differently. They cannot name all the things to be the same. For example, if it is a cupboard, then they will call it a cupboard. If it is a table, they would call it a table. So with the use of nouns, the students do a justice to the writing. But when it comes to adjectives, it has been noticed that the students tend to use only two adjectives, and they are good or bad. For example, if somebody is writing an essay on spring season, the words that he's going to use from the very beginning is, spring season is good. It is very good to have a sunny day. It is very good to see the flowers in the spring. So the teachers must instruct the students not to use these adjectives again and again, because when the examiner looks at this use of adjectives which are being repeated, that means the student does not know many adjectives. So the teacher needs to do an exercise with them which would enable the students to use other adjectives than good or bad. Too much use of the same word would not really carry any authentic message by the writer. Moreover, the examiner would not assess the writer to be a good essay writer until and unless he is providing the essay with more words, rather with rich language. In most of the essay writing cases, it has been also seen that students do not use creative skills. The teachers should encourage the students to write the essays about their own thinking, looking at their own creative skills and with their own opinions. They should be encouraged to write and express their own opinions, and whatever they imagine the topic to be, the teachers must encourage them to do that. Another way of creating this creative skill amongst the students is that the teacher gives them some samples of essays from such books where she can find good essays written in some authentic language, where there is a rich exposure of language that the students can come across. As it is said, by reading good essays, the students would be able to write good essays. So the reading of essays is as important as writing of an essay. Also, the teacher must specify that this essay that the student are going to write should have 5 paragraphs, or if she wants less than that, then she can say the essay should have 3 paragraphs. In most cases, it is suggested that also the students should be trained for word count. They should know the length of the essay they are going to write about. Also, sometimes the students, they get confused whether they need to just write about the topic or they can write something which is referring to the topic. So all these instructions are very important. Just asking the student to write an essay on a topic would not really help the student to follow the instructions, because the instructions to write an essay must be written on the board or the paper if the students are being given a worksheet. The instructions would help the students to develop an image of an essay in his mind, and therefore by the use of those instructions, he would be able to write a good essay or even read and analyze an essay.